Good evening. Um, let's see, I just got a reply here. So I just want to let you all know that I correctly predicted the script for the conference semifinals in both NBA playoff series. Or as a matter of fact, all four playoff series. It's very weird. My screen is black. I mean, I see a black screen when I do this stream, but then I know that when I click on the live stream right now, I can see my face. But on my PC, I cannot see my face on the monitor. But I can kind of I see a black screen on my PC, but I don't see it through my phone. I don't know why that is the issue. But anyway, that's not relevant. What's relevant is that the Mavericks have zero chance against the Nuggets. I mean, when you go into the description, you're gonna see that hey, Luka equals 45, Jokic enters with 45 playoff wins, and he's going to get his 49th playoff win against Dallas. So that shows you how completely rigged and completely scripted the NBA really is. It's all rigged for the Denver Nuggets. It's all rigged for the Nuggets to play in another finals. Um, so it would be 0 for 2 for Luka if I get that right. We could see a situation where Dallas, they could make it to the finals for the first time with Luka to be 1-3 in the conference finals. So I can totally see that happening. But that you ever see a 1-3 in the Western Conference Finals to make the finals for the first time. I'm talking about Luka, and so he may go over 3 in the conference finals potentially before he ends up making it to the finals. So that's what I kind of see there with Dallas Camacho 13. As far as Dallas Camacho 49, it's very clear. I mean, I think any of us who put money on the Nuggets to win the series when they down 2-0, we made serious bank. How did we make serious bank? Why did we make serious bank? Well, for one, the Nuggets had 26 losses for the year. Comeback is 26, so they're gonna uh, they're gonna lose the series for their 30th loss of the year. The Timberwolves entered with 26 losses in the series, so the T Wolves had 26 losses entering the series, right? 56 and 26, and your 6 wins against the loser Phoenix Suns. And then, basically this told us comeback has happened. And their 30th loss against the Nuggets. The Timberwolves have zero chance. I don't care if they win tomorrow or not. I'm undecided if I want a game seven. Well, it's not to what I want. It's all up to Adam Silver wants. But are the Timberwolves going to win tomorrow? Are the Nuggets going to win? I have to calculate. I haven't done a calculation yet. But the main point is that there's no hocus pocus, funny business of the that man is Michael Jordan. He making NBA finals. Now you gotta believe there's something to it about Rudy Gobert wanting to go back home to his kid because his wife just got due with a child. He now has a baby boy, baby girl, whatever. I don't know what sex the child is, but anyway, it kind of reminded me of Mike Conley. His wife, his girlfriend, his fiance was due, and then immediately the Memphis Grizzlies, it was the Utah Jazz that went out of the playoffs a few years ago. That's basically what's going on in the NBA. It's very boring and it's very predictable. I mean, they're making it easy. You get the Nuggets at $6.50 per $1 put in, and why not reinvest in the conference finals? Just boom, Celtics Nuggets right there. 64 wins for the Celtics, 12 wins to win the conference. Tatum's come out to 12 wins in the playoffs, gives you the finals appearance. The New York Knicks have zero chance. Again, they have zero chance of beating the Celtics. Get that in your head mentally that they have zero chance of making it to the finals. because that's not the plan yet. The plan is to have LeBron James to beat two champions, Jokic and Tatum, to defeat two recent champions. LeBron James is going to beat two of the last two champions in the NBA. And when we're looking at the schedule for next year, what games of the year will the Nuggets and the Celtics play? Because these are the last two champions. LeBron James is going to defeat two of the last two champions of the NBA. I think the story between the Warriors and the Lakers is overdue. I hope LeBron James will beat the Warriors. Yes, I do. But is it very likely that they've closed the chapter between the Warriors and the Lakers? Yes, very likely that episode has ended with LeBron getting their revenge a couple years ago. It's looking like it's over. And that was an elimination because the Warriors lost against the Lakers in the play, and then they lost the Grizzlies. So that was an elimination, the 2021 plan. The Lakers didn't eliminate the Warriors, but they did in 2023. By LeBron James Jokic dethrones the Western crown away from Joker. And he will then knock off Jason Tatum to be the next champion of the league. Now, there are things that we cannot break down yet until we know the schedule for next year's finals. So the 2025 NBA Finals must be released. And at that point in time, we can do the date durations from the Kevin Garnett, Jamie Foxx commercial to when they, like guys, win the championship. You do the date duration from the Ruffles commercial between Tatum and LeBron and the Vegas Aces player and Charles Barkley from the time of the Ruffles commercial to the time that LeBron wins their next championship. See, that's the thing that we need is the date durations. You have to remember over at the UAE, they're playing two games. The Nuggets and the Celtics are playing two games at the UAE in two preseason friendlies next year. In October, they'll be off to the UAE, play two preseason games between the Nuggets and the Celtics, the two teams that they have lined up to play in this year's NBA Finals. And they have these two teams playing the preseason friendly. San Francisco, New York Jets, week one, the Jets are winning. Jets win. Aaron Rodgers off to a quick start. Jets could be in first place in the tied for first in the AFC East after week two because, the Dolphins face off against the Bills. So one of these two teams would lose, and the New York Jets are going to absolutely put themselves on the map that we have defense, that Aaron Rodgers is still a bad man, and that we be back. It is all about Robert Saleh's return to the Bay Area. His 19th New York Jets win versus San Francisco, who was victim of the first NFL repeat in 19 years. So the New York Jets are the top upset pick. I can't really call it an upset because I don't think it's an upset. But will it be an upset to observers across the league? It will be considered an upset. Aaron Rodgers has not forgotten to play. What was his name? Floyd. His first name. Leonard Floyd. Oh, Leonard Floyd's on the waters. And same thing's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers. Sandy, you mentioned it perfectly. This is why the Celtics have to win. Celtics will win this year because they got their lowest payout. Minus, they're minus future odds right now. They were to win the East throughout the season. Tatum cannot lose. The plan is for the Celtics to lose against the Lakers, so of course Celtics have to win. That's where we get the 1 and 2 in the finals for Jason Tatum against Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla is his coach. 1 and 2 in the finals, fall to James. 1-1, 1 and 2, lose to the GOAT. Lose to the GOAT. 1 chip and 3 finals appearances. It's obvious when you look at it from that regard because his first finals appearance was against the Warriors in abbreviations and LA's 13. So Celtics are going to lose. to lose the championship. I would say Jason Tatum's going to be due for multiple championships. I think there's a reason why he can't win multiple championships. But the bottom line is he has to fall to 1-2 in the finals when he loses against Goat King Bonjets. He says he is not falling to 0-3 in the finals. This is the plan. Yeah, it in your head right here that they saving their best for last, number 23 in his 23rd season in the NBA. It's how we primetime ballers rolling over here. We told everyone here when they Nuggets had to travel to Minnesota down 2-0 that they still winning. And we heard screaming A. Smith say the Timberwolves going to their finals, that the series is over. You don't listen to mainstream propaganda. You keep it real over here. The Nuggets were coming back. The media told everyone that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win. The media was programming the masses that the Minnesota Timberwolves win. That's time to bet on the Timberwolves at home. This is what they do in the media. They mislead, because they know the script, and these media guys work with the bookies. I believe it has to be deliberate. Stephen A. is on national TV saying that it's over. Ant-Man is him. He's Michael Jordan. These guys are about to sweep Denver Nuggets. And then you turn around, Joe Pub out there, place they bet on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, I'm telling you, this is probably what they do. They've been telling you, hey, Baltimore's going to win against the Chiefs. So the Chiefs can't win at Buffalo. The Chiefs can't do this. But we beat the media in January, didn't we? Every single game, we knew the Chiefs were going to win. Every single game. Even when half of the people, just over half of the people polled had San Francisco, we knew they were not winning. Why would Patrick Mahomes lose against the team that passed on him in the NFL draft? And this will bring us to our next big game that we speak about. No one watching NFL videos. The bottom line, this is a year-round channel. This ain't a seasonal channel. You got to pay attention to your sport 24/7, 365 days a year. Mahomes 5-for-5 against San Francisco. He owns that team. 3-0 regular season, 2-0 Super Bowls. It's been 30 years since the 49ers last won a Super Bowl. Shanahan is also the Gematria 30. Brandon Staley's a joke defensive coordinator, right? This is how you know the Niners are going to be terrible, because they have a terrible defensive coordinator, right? Who wants to win the Super Bowl, and they hire Brandon Staley. You just don't do that if you want to win a Super Bowl. To be 5-0 against San Francisco. That's why, and this is what makes it look, because when San Francisco is 50, Chiefs is also come out to 50. So if San Francisco's 50, if Chiefs is 50, guess what? He's going 5-0 against the 49ers. I was looking at the schedule. Detroit and Seattle, they lost against them last year, obviously. Detroit over Seattle. I don't. The Cowboys are gonna be bad, and we don't know what version of the Lions they're gonna get. Where they almost choke, they almost lose, but then the Lions win the close game on national TV. So that has the capability of happening. Now, of course, we've seen the Detroit Lions, the Mafia rigged the playoff game to where the Lions were a 3-point favorite, but they only end up winning by 2 points against the Rams. So we see these kind of things happen with the Detroit Lions. A team where the narrative seems to be against. The media will say it's against them, but Detroit Lions can again prove that they are the real deal, that they are going to make it to the Super Bowl. Because it was only their first postseason. I mean, they absolutely show that they're up for the big show. Wait, when you make it, and you've been beating the ass of the 49ers on the road in your first playoff berth with a new coach, a new regime, you got to pay attention. Even if you think Green Bay or someone like Philly going to make it in there, you got to pay attention to Detroit, I tell you. I'm not going for golf based off of experience. I'm going off of storylines for Detroit. I'm going off of the history between the fact that Goff, his last Super Bowl, he won at New Orleans to make it to the Super Bowl. So I think his next Super Bowl happens to New Orleans. That is my theory. I'm all in on the Lions to win the NFC this year. I like the Lions and the Ravens is my Super Bowl. My number 2 matchup, if you're curious, is the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Green Bay Packers because the three-peat narrative is there. So this would have to be my matchup number 2. So matchup number 2 makes a case for the three-peat narrative. Just about 58 years later. Uh, I may go Steelers over Cowboys. Chiefs to start 2-0. Kansas City start 2-0 for the season. I like champions at Nevada. Nevada Gamache 20. Defeat the AFC North. The NFL is rigged by the mafia. You know, people didn't think the Chiefs were going to win these last 2 Super Bowls because quite frankly, they didn't. They liked the Bills for Super Bowl 57 to win the AFC. For Super Bowl 57, they liked the Bengals to beat the Chiefs. And then last year, they didn't think they're going to win on the road. But this year, I mean, it's going to be a little bit different, where the Chiefs are going to win the first 2 games, and people are going to be high on the Kansas City Chiefs three-peat narrative. So the Chiefs are going to win. Again, I get it that the Browns have a great defense and what have you. Everything associated with the Dallas Cowboys. It's a different season. It is. But what I like about Tom Brady's first game is that I just like the hello Cesar, how you doing? I just like Dak to get a 76 win of his career. His 74th win in the regular season. He's got 2 playoff wins. So I gotta go Dallas week 1. Tom Brady 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, and Cowboys are a team with 6 Super Bowls, and you know these kind of things are not coincidence. I mean, his last game was against the Cowboys before he went to retirement, and his first game as commentator is Dallas Cowboys. I wonder if there's going to be a game-winning drive in the first game of the year. Tom Brady's got to see some 2-minute magic there. Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott? I think you can sell the Cowboys a little bit till the inevitable collapse in the playoffs. So I go Cowboys over the Browns, even though there's a potential where they could shit the bed if the Browns defense completely batters the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys. But it is a new season again for both teams, and the Browns got obliterated by the Texans. So we'll see the Browns start out slow. I don't know how the Raiders are going to beat the Chargers. I mean, use their quarterback. I know O'Donnell's there, right? Did they draft another quarterback? The Gardner Minshew. This motherfucker's still in the league. He always finds a way to get a couple wins every year. This Gardner Minshew. Raiders are just shit at quarterback. I swear to God, they don't want a franchise. No quarterback should be a foregone conclusion. Jim Harbaugh is absolutely ready. Chargers can beat the Raiders week 1. Although, who knows if new offense, you got to learn your offense, right? You got to learn your offense. Are the Raiders beating the Chargers? No, I don't think they beat the Chargers. Would be interested if they lose because Antonio Pierce should have been our coach. Isn't he coach? Oh, I think he is the coach. He is. Antonio Pierce is the coach, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So that's not a sure thing that the Raiders are gonna lose against the Chargers. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm not overthinking about it. But anyway, there's 4 months to prepare for the first week of the season. I swear, there's 4 weeks. 4 weeks. But damn well, I am high and almighty on the New York Jets defeating the San Francisco 49ers. Absolutely. Aaron Rodgers, he is going full Broadway back at home. Robert Saleh gets the win against his former team, against his former defensive coordinating job, against his former team. I think the Jets is a give me. Broncos and Seahawks should be interesting. The Denver, Seattle trade, all this. First game without Pete Carroll, too. I think the Seahawks are probably going to embarrass the Broncos some more. We absolutely freaking we destroyed you in the Wilson trade, and then we beat the Denver Broncos. So yeah, I think I don't know who the Bronco coach is. Sean Payton's still there. Oh, Sean Payton. This would make Drew Brees look really good if Sean Payton has another slow start. But it is on the road, so it's a plus that it's at Seattle. I think the Seahawks are a mediocre team. Okay, I think the Seahawks are this year's pretender to start 2-0. If they can beat the Patriots on the road or something like that, they'll get some hard teams. They'll get the Lions. They'll get the Dolphins. So let's see if the NFL wants the Seahawks to start out slow. If they want them to start out quick, you see, because they got the Seahawks and the Lions on Monday night, September 30th. Seahawks and the Lions. So maybe they have the Seahawks start slow. They make the Seahawks start quick. That's my observation. Make him start quick. But I think still they're a pretender because the Patriots and the Broncos are crap. But they'll start quick. What other games have been highlighted in the schedule? Well, yeah, even though I like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl, I still think they lose in Week 1. I still think it's going to get juicy. I still think that look, if the Chiefs were an underdog the last couple of years, now I will say that they are an underdog. Why? Because people didn't think they're going to win their conference for the last 2 years. Let alone the Super Bowl. I don't care about the Super Bowl. People didn't think they would even win the AFC the last couple of years. So I think things are going to change. Where people are going to start thinking the Chiefs are going to win the AFC, but they didn't think they're going to win the AFC the last couple of years. It ain't going to they're going to make it seem like it looks easy that, it's easy money. The Chiefs going to play in the Super Bowl because that's who Goodell likes. He does like the Patriots, though, but they went 10 years without a Super Bowl, but they still managed to win some championships later down the latter part of the Tom Brady era in New England. So I think we're at that phase. Bottom line, the NFL is mafia. These are horse race track owners, the guys who go way back to the 1960s. We will definitely know where this season is headed based off of the results of the first couple weeks. If the Chiefs start 2-0, they're not winning. If the Chiefs lose on opening week, then it's time to pay attention to the three-peat narrative. They lost the first game last year, and they still won the Super Bowl. If they lose the opening game, if they even lose to Joe Burrow, if they lose to Joe Burrow, then it's time to start paying attention to Kansas City. If they start 2-0, if the Chiefs start 2-0, nada. It don't matter about home field. It don't matter about any of these things mentioned. They not winning the AFC. if they start 2-0. That's the direction of the season that we'd be headed to. That would be historic if they start 0-2 and they win the Super Bowl. Are they beating Lamar Jackson opening week? Hell no. Because Lamar has to fall to 1-5 against Kansas City, against number 15. That's why the Ravens got to lose opening week. Lamar can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Lamar can't beat Patrick Mahomes. I think that's where we headed if the Ravens lose opening week. And anyway, even if they were to start 2-0 against these teams, we can sit around and say that these are two different teams now in December and January. It was only the first 2 weeks of the season that they play them. They're completely different teams than week 1 and week 2, and that can be true as well. So that's the interesting thing about having these games back-to-back to open the regular season in week 1 and week 2. I think Tom Brady got to sit here and say, I'm the GOAT. They're not coordinating this guy very early in his career because he's early in his career. What is this, his 7th or 8th year as a starter? Because we look at 2018, then this is probably his 7th year as a starter. But it's very early in Patrick Mahomes' career. He's not even in year 20. So we got well over a decade. Bottom line, I can observe the Las Vegas factor where people doubted the Chiefs the last couple of years. Las Vegas factor will decide whether the Chiefs are going to three-peat or not. I don't like the three-peat for the Chiefs, and my matchup number 2 is the Chiefs over the Packers, and my number 1 matchup is the Ravens to beat the Lions. So these are my top 2 matchups when I look at the direction of the season. Now, the Buffalo Bills going to come a little bit later when they enter the new stadium. The Bengals, Joe Montana and Joe Burrow, that's where I like Super Bowl 60 for the Bengals. Damn well, top bet for next year is Chiefs to win the Bengals to win the motherfucking Super Bowl. Next year, that's the top bet. For me, this year, the top bet is just the AFC has all the quarterbacks, right? So the NFC, why not roll with the Lions to win the conference? I think at 5-1 or 5.5-1, that's a pretty good payout. Why not give the Lions a chance to win the AFC next year? Why not? Why not just get to the Lions to win the easiest conference in football before we move on to who wins the Super Bowl? That'd be the highest percentage. You take your check down for 5 yards before you try to hit a 50-yard pass with the Super Bowl winner is how I equate my top bet next year. It's the Lions to win the NFC. If the Lions beat the Chiefs and we see any Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl, that would be pretty interesting, no lie. But I do like the history between the old Browns in the 1950s against Detroit. And NFL likes these kind of things. So the Cards, Pitt, Steelers, they were the same team in 1944 due to World War II. And then they end up facing the Super Bowl in 2009. And 1 year, 1944, the Cards and the Steelers were the same team in 1944. They were called Cards, Pitt, or something like that. You can look it up. But the Browns and the Lions faced off in many NFL championship games in the 1950s, and we know that the Browns moved to Baltimore. The old Browns back in the day. So that's where I like the history between the Ravens and the Lions. If there's one thing that could derail the Ravens-Lions matchup for me, that has to be the fact that the Ravens absolutely destroyed the Lions 37-3 last year in the regular season. So if they do put any emphasis on regular season results, then that's the only thing that could derail that matchup for next year when I'm analyzing it. I'm really big on the fact, again, that the NBA is very boring and very predictable. Now, I cannot wait to watch the finals. I believe now there'll be some exciting games, don't get me wrong, in the conference finals. But no lie, no cap. We already know who's playing the finals. We know the Knicks ain't got no chance this early against the Celtics. You got to talk about the Knicks in free agency. What next thing they got to do to be a championship contender? You got to talk about what Dallas need to do in the offseason. You can talk about that before and in the early stages during the downtime that we're talking about the finals match between the Nuggets and the Celtics. The one thing that I like about the finals is that the Celtics are more battle-tested. That this is not a real finals matchup that the Nuggets went through last year. The Heat are just not a real opponent. The Celtics did go through a battle-tested finals appearance. Granted, the Celtics lost, but the Warriors were a real team. They were a real team that won over 50 games. They were a top 4 seed. That was a real matchup. The Celtics will be real battle-tested from the stab wounds and experiences that 2022 has had to offer for the franchise. This Heat team is garbage. Now, I think the Celtics are the best. They're the biggest their group of players are the biggest group of mafia men out there. They threw the series against the Heat. They keep on throwing every other home game in the playoffs. There's no reason why, if it's left up the chance that the Celtics are barely 500 at home in the playoffs with this home court experience that they have to offer. Due to the nature of legalized betting, Celtics took a dive last year. The Celtics are being rewarded for their dive that they took last year because they knew they Nuggets were winning the championship last year, and they're not going to have Tatum lose to be 0-3 in the finals. I'm telling you, this is how the NBA is rigged. Tatum knows he's losing against Jokic in the bottom. So he can't make it to a finals and lose between this time before he loses against Jokic LeBron James. Because Jewish mysticism doesn't lie. Tatum is 12. He's got to fall to 1 and 2 in the finals. So therefore, he can't make it back again to lose in the finals. This is how we know they jokers. Talk about the Celtics. You tell me they start bringing on the series and they force to game 7? Gabe Vincent is suddenly Stephen Curry. Are you kidding me? Do you guys remember the series last year in the conference finals out east? You can't tell me they're not capable of manipulating the playoffs. You just take a look at the loser Phoenix Suns. And the 3-0 against the Timberwolves in the regular season. That was true. They went 3-0 in the regular season, but now they can't handle the brute physicality of the Timberwolves for crying out loud. There ain't no chance if it left up the chance that the loser Phoenix Suns get swept by the Timberwolves. Not against the team that you swept 3-0 in the regular season. And very just recently, in the last game of the regular season, you up by 45-25. They manipulate. They determine the outcome. I think in the last live stream that I had, where I was telling you, hey, watch the videos that we talked about, that the plan was for Doncic against the Jokic because of the international viewership that the NBA craves. You see, they greedy for the bling. In a year that there's no Warriors and there's no Lakers, damn well, you and I and the cat and the dog knew they wanted Jokic and Jokic for the Euro ratings, especially without any Lakers and any Jokic LeBron, and without any Warriors and any Steph Curry. So if you wonder why there's no Timberwolves, there it is right there. And the gematria was correct. As I've said at the start of the stream, Nuggets 30th loss, and again, NBA's pushing Luka against Nikola. So Luka's 45, and Nikola enters the conference finals with 45 career playoff wins to his name. This is where we arrive at that right there. Celtics have won the championship. And so you already know who's going to be finals MVP. You see how I did it. Why not roll with Jason Tatum? Still have plus odds given for finals MVP? No other player on the Celtics is going to win finals MVP. The nice thing about winning finals MVP or going with the finals MVP bet is that even though it really happens, technically you can still win finals MVP and be on the losing team of the series. I think they argued that GOAT King LeBron James should have won finals MVP back in 2015 because remember, there was no Kyrie Irving, there was no Kevin Love, but GOAT King LeBron James was the most valuable player in the series. He kept the Cavaliers alive all the way to the ultimate end in Game 6 at Cleveland at Akron. So there is always a chance that the losing player of the finals can still be finals MVP because GOAT King LeBron James had a very great, compelling argument to be finals MVP in 2015. I think there's zero chance of that happening. I get it. There's psyop scripts every playoffs. There's Porzingis who played for the Knicks, who played for Dallas. I understand, okay? Tim Hardaway, New York Knicks. I completely understand how these kind of things work sometimes. I completely understand, but there's 2 preseason friendlies between the Nuggets and the Celtics at the United Arab Emirates, and this is how the NBA was telling us exactly these were the 2 teams that were going to play. Biden as a Celtic name. I mean, I think he's like French and Irish. I think Joseph Robinette Biden. Anyway, I mean, they just tripping with this Gotham City Joker has to beat the New York Knicks. I mean, Celtics go 15 years without a title. Jokic is number 15. The Illuminati has spoken to us already. The Illuminati has told us who's going to win the finals. The Illuminati told us Tatum, Luck, win the title. He going up against number 15, got his 15 full seasons without a title for the Celtics. This is how the Illuminati communicates with us through the NBA's player jersey numbers. This is how they communicate. Jason Tatum number 0 because GOAT King LeBron 0 titles in front of fans until he defeats Jason Tatum in the finals. So I'd be happy to decode Jason Tatum's number 0 as it pertains to the Lakers. As it pertains to the Lakers, it's 0 titles in front of fans. That's how I go about Jason Tatum's number 0. So yeah, I think there's no reason to watch the conference finals. Now I'll tune into some action because it'll be good ball to watch. They'll have some good games. There'll be some tight games. You understand? But as far as predictability goes, it's over. Celtics Nuggets is the finals. This is the most compelling matchup. Jason Tatum going for his first ring against a 4-time MVP. And GOAT King LeBron will have to dethrone Jokic out west. He has to dethrone Tatum to be the next champion of the NBA. I think can't ask for any better outcome next year for the Lakers. Very best outcome will be, obviously, if they're the lowest ever seeded team to win the championship, if they are number 7 or number 8. I believe we still witness in history. I still have the plan for next year. The Knickerbockers is 63. The Boston Celtics is 63. Michael Jordan born in year 63. Bottom line, GOAT King LeBron's going to achieve something legendary. He's going to win 59 playoff games with the Lakers to achieve the back-to-back to retire a 2-time consecutive NBA champion. He's got 3 play-in wins right now, so he go from 59 wins to 62 playoff wins with the Lakers. So this is where we get 63. Unless if you want to say it's going to include the NBA Cup final, but I go with postseason wins is how I break this down. The 63 postseason wins for the Lakers. So the Lakers be in the play-in next year because we about the magical Mamba Star Championship for the LA Lakers. We are about the magical Mamba Style Championship for the LA Lakers. Oh, yeah, little gay ass hating ass little faggot out there. Well, Mike have one world championship in the last 5 years. I don't give a damn what y'all been thinking right now. And that'd be the goal. I achieved the history for Lionel Messi. The back that we predicted long before it happened. And we're about to achieve history this summer. We're about to achieve the history of the GOAT in the bond prophecy of Ty and Michael and Kareem at the birthplace of New York City. This is what we about right here. We about the history over here on this channel. We about the history over here. Now, be ready for the history. You're not be ready for the history. And the Illuminati, and if you were to try to predict GOAT in the bond to Ty Michael Jordan back 2019, 2020. Virtually, this is virtually unheard of. Virtually unheard of. It's virtually unheard of to win a 5th and 6th ring in your 23rd and 23rd NBA seasons. But this is the history that we about to witness right here for GOAT and LeBron James. Winning championship in his 22nd and 23rd seasons, undefeated, unbeaten, invincible in the playoffs, right after turning the magical 4-0 that the Fountain of Youth has to offer for GOAT King LeBron James. He is far greater than Mike and any of these imposters out there who want to say that they the GOAT. And the GOAT of what? The GOAT of what? I've seen far better than what I've seen from y'all over there. Is it time to make a Game 6 prediction? I think y'all getting sweat. I think y'all getting sweat. I think y'all going down. You're going down hard. Yep, 10-game postseason. Suns come out your 10. The Denver Nuggets are winning the game tomorrow. Go Nuggets. Go Nuggets. Now, the Denver Nuggets have all but ended the Western Conference semifinal against the Timberwolves. It's a 10-game playoffs for the Timberwolves, beginning against the loser Phoenix Suns. It is over. They have lost. The Timberwolves, their season is all but ended. Timberwolves opponents are going to be 4-6 against Minnesota. Phoenix Gamache 46. These guys are cooked. These guys are toast. Send Rudy Gobert back home to the baby child. That was just due right around the time of game 2. These guys are getting swept. Their season is over. The media has manipulated them immensely. Yeah, Timberwolves gonna fall to 2-3 at home. Send Rudy back to the baby boy, baby girl, whatever. I don't forget if it's a boy or a girl. Rudy's gonna watch at 23, the Joker 23. They're gonna fall to 2-3 at home this postseason. This series is over. They'll be 4-1 on the road this playoffs. Denver Nuggets. Nuggets Gamache 45. Plus, it's the T-Wolves. That's Gamache 41. In a red series, they did defeat the King. They did defeat the Lakers in Los Angeles, California. So the 4-1 on the road is very key. Plus 41 to 13th prime, and it's Dallas. That's Gamache at 13. Dallas reverse reduction is Gamache at 41. The Timberwolves are cooked. You're finished. The Nuggets are sweeping y'all bums out of the arena tomorrow. Your season is over. There's many more NFL games to call on this. There's many NFL games to look out for on the schedule. I like the Nuggets. The series is over. Stella's going to have 5 days of rest before the conference finals. That's right. They'd be 8-3 because of Colorado, right? Denver Nuggets going to roll that pile of trash tomorrow. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. A miracle against Canucks. What the hell's going on with the Rangers? I swear they've been dominating everyone. What's been going on with the Rangers? And then, okay, I'm like, what are you talking about? The Rangers are 3-2 against Carolina. Well, they're up 3-0. I guess they lost the last 2 games. So stop jacking off, New York. Stop jacking off. Handle your business. Stop jacking off. Come on, New York. Stop jacking off. Oh, as well as the Canucks. Okay. As well as the Canucks. Yep. Will the New York Knicks stay up 3-2 against the Pacers? You know what? Close them out. Close them out, them bums, Thursday, Friday. One of these 2 series go into 7 games. One of them 2 series goes 7 games. Just like we had 1 game 7 the last round. What's the game 7 on Sunday? You know what? New York Knicks are easy if they are the game 7 selected team on Sunday, May 19th. Good old times where he thought David Stern was going to rig the NBA for the Knicks against and Carmelo against Jokic LeBron in the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, but instead they gave us the Pacers against the Miami Heat. Good times back then. Good times. I think Lance Stephenson ended up playing for the Lakers right after he was giving Jokic LeBron the fits during this series against the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, I see. I see black screen on here. I don't understand why. Quite frankly, I hope I can get down to the bottom of it. But all that matters is that I can see your comments. What are the top games, the NFL schedule that we speak about? And we're in no rush too at the NFL. It's a good 4 months away from the season. It's 4 months of research to do in between the Euro and the Copa America. You know the soccer tournaments, but then we get to July and August, so that still be a month and a half or so. So, but still plenty of time to get ahead of it since the NBA is very boring and predictable. We already know what the finals matchup's going to be. So in between the waste of time that is of trying to bet every basketball game in the conference finals, which quite frankly is a waste of time. And so now I feel it's time to at least go through and see highlighting the marquee matchups of who is going to win. I remember Kirk Cousins is on the Falcons, so Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins, who's going to win that one? Now, Steelers are beating the Broncos, okay? Russell Wilson's going to beat the Broncos. This team's a joke. He's gonna own. He's gonna own Sean Payton. Steelers are locked to beat the Broncos in Game 2. It shows how embarrassing and symbolic the Denver Broncos are. The Denver Donkeys is what they call it. Steelers and Russell Wilson are gonna beat the Denver Donkeys. Sean Payton is not the genius that we all think he is. He had Drew Brees. Russell Wilson is gonna get a win at Bronco Country, September 15th. I go Russell Wilson on that game. You figure the Texans will probably beat the Bears on prime time. Texans is Gamache 20 if they start undefeated or something. I mean, Anthony Richardson is good. Yes, Anthony Richardson should be back for September the 8th. But Texans is Gamache 20. So if they start 1-0, then yeah, Texans going to totally win against the Bears on Monday Night Football. Just dependent contingent on if they do defeat the Colts. But lots of scoring with Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. But they don't have a chance of making the finals this year. But call me back when it's 2026. Because that's when I'll start hyping up the New York for me. But then again, I knew Sixers were not going to defeat New York. So at least, not going overboard with any Kobe ritual or anything like that. That hate Philly was going to disappoint again. I don't know where Embiid's going to be at, but Embiid in Dallas, Embiid in Boston is kind of ideas that I have. It all depend, obviously, on the salary cap situations. It'll all depend on where Embiid can showcase himself. So there's still time to see where the development lies. But yeah, understand, Kansas City is a lock over the 49ers. 5-0, 50, key number. I wonder when Aaron Rodgers is going to lose his first game with the Jets. Bottom line, Aaron Rodgers should beat the Patriots in week 2. I think it's a big year for Aaron Rodgers. You don't have to win the Super Bowl, but if he can win double-digit games and make it to the playoffs, he can show why he's the GOAT. He can show that he can be great at any organization. Aaron Rodgers showed he can be great anywhere if he wins double-digit games this year, especially in that division. I think that's what Aaron Rodgers got to do. He's got to close it out saying, hey, I can be great anywhere I go. I know the NFL is rigged, so I knew Aaron Rodgers could easily have won multiple Super Bowls because this is a rigged league. The NFL has agendas. They have agendas for scripted matchups that they plan on. So these kind of things like the Harbaugh Bowl, the Brother Bowl, these things like Atlanta in a new stadium, and they make it to a Super Bowl. The British Redcoats against the colonists, the Patriots, the reenactment of the American Revolution that we saw with the 28-3 comeback. So games have been rigged against Aaron Rodgers. We speak about the almighty Seahawks going for the repeat, and Tom Brady defeats them. So NFL seasons have been rigged against Aaron Rodgers too many times to count in the past. If this league were not rigged, Aaron Rodgers would easily have multiple Super Bowl rings. They don't have to be 3, it can be 2 rings, but the league wasn't rigged. Aaron Rodgers would have easily had multiple Super Bowls. I'm not buying the fact that with this athletic ability, you can only make it to 1 Super Bowl, right? Something is awfully wrong. Something has obviously been manipulated. Maybe Lamar fixed the definition too. Maybe Lamar was supposed to forget how to play football against Tennessee Titans. Miraculously forget how to throw a football. Patrick Mahomes is a fake. Seems very contrived. Seems very easily. We can easily see a different winner, but again, I'm not being a hater. I'm not being bitter. Again, I predicted the Chiefs to win every playoff game during the last couple of years because I knew the NFL's agenda. I knew their scripts of State Farm. I knew their script with the repeat 19 years later and Joe Montana's number 19. So I understand these kind of things that they have going on. I think I need to close out over here. I need to do more of the research into the NFL games. Hope you enjoy my ranting, my scope on the NBA. The media lost. These guys lost. They told y'all Minnesota Timberwolves were gonna sweep them bums in Denver. They're gonna advance and make it to the finals. But you and I know better than the media. You and I know better that the Niners had zero chance. That we knew that the comeback was on against the Lions before it even happened. I told you about Dan Campbell's history of choking out the Bay Area. These guys gonna choke. These ass clowns like Kendrick Perkins are ready to say for Goldking the Bond to retire. Now remember, Kendrick Perkins is a Celtic. He's telling Goldking the Bond he should retire. He's a Celtic. We remember all of that stuff said when we get to this point next season. As far as the soccer goes, kind of overthinking a little bit on the Champions League that, Real Madrid, they were not going to win until, Mbappe comes over there. But that's a very interesting thing to look out for if Mbappe. The Champions League is a farmers' league. I get the feeling. And there's an interesting narrative that if Real Madrid lose next year, that there's Mbappe disrupting the team of Real Madrid. So that's something that comes to mind when I think about Real Madrid. But I feel that we're saving the best for last. Man City did win the Premier League, and my Juventus did win the Coppa Italia. Forza, 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 Forza. Today was a big celebration. Argentina to win the Copa America is a given. I am the king of the summer. If England win the Euro, we nail England, the Euro, Argentina, Copa America. We got Finalissima going on there. I believe we will finish the NBA super strong because we've nailed the Nuggets comeback over the Timberwolves. And when we get to the phase of the NBA Finals, that we would correctly diagnose the fact that Tatum will win. And once Jason Tatum wins, then we fucking damn well know exactly what the hell is happening next year. But before we get to the conference winners, before we get to the finals, we would say that Jason Tatum got to defend this title. He got to fall to 1-2 in the finals because Tatum is 12. Get closer and closer. The script come closer and closer and closer to Jokic Bond James. Finish this end of the postseason with the Celtics over the Nuggets and carry the momentum towards next year. That's the game plan we be rolling with, and this is why this playlist of 14 the Bond repeating 25 and 26 is going to include action from this year, because it shows that we break down this year, then you diagnose exactly what the plan is for next year in the year after that. It's anyone want to roll with the Denver Nuggets. This repeat playlist can include the Celtics over the Nuggets and includes the comeback over the Timberwolves. We be balling. We keep on balling over here. We always back for more.